Welcome to part 3 of my Luke Skywalker Character Analysis. If you haven't seen part 1 or 2 yet, then I highly encourage you to do so. I'll throw up the title card and place a link in the description to it. In today's video, I'll continue my case for Luke as the greatest Star Wars character, looking at his role in episode 6. So without further ado, let's get into it.
You can't go on alone.
Yoda will always be with you.
While Yoda is gone, his spirit remains both literally and metaphorically. As long as Luke has him in mind, he's never truly gone then. The same can be said for anyone important that passes in one's own life. Obi-Wan appears after Yoda passes to give Luke closure on the last few questions he had from the previous film. It's from here that Luke will be able to leave more confidently and go on to become the last of the Jedi.
You told me Vader betrayed and murdered my father.
Your father was seduced by the dark side of the Force. He ceased to be Anakin Skywalker and became Darth Vader. When that happened, the good man who was your father was destroyed.
What's important here is, while this is the reality of what happened, how he told Luke feels just as true, because that's how he experienced and interpreted the event. Or, as Obi-Wan would say,
So what I told you was true, from a certain point of view.
A certain point of view?
Luke, you're going to find that many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view.
we can all experience something and interpret it differently. In this case, Anakin being dead makes as much sense to Obi-Wan because he hasn't seen any semblance of the good friend he once knew in the suit for over 2 decades. As for Luke, the opposite is true. Where he previously only saw Vader as evil, he now has seen his vulnerability, as a piece of Anakin yearns to return.
There is still good in him.
He's more machine now than man, twisted and evil.
The ability to treat Anakin and Vader as the same person is what gives Luke an advantage over his masters, as he understands that the man that was once his father is under the mask. This allows him to be compassionate when others couldn't, to believe without being able to see, and to empathize with him as a man rather than as a machine. If they truly are 2 different people, then Vader could never be turned, as the Emperor would say. But if they're one and the same, then he could be shown the light once more.
You must face Darth Vader again.
I can't kill my own father.
Then the Emperor has already won. You were our only hope.
Obi-Wan has convinced himself for so long that Anakin was truly dead that he lost faith in his former apprentice. It's here that Luke's compassion, the very thing that was considered Anakin's greatest strength and weakness, shines, as he holds on to hope and chooses to believe in Anakin Skywalker.
Yoda spoke of another.
The other he spoke of is your twin sister.
Leia is my sister.
Your insight serves you well. Bury your feelings deep down, Luke. They do you credit, but they couldn't be made to serve the Emperor.
Luke's feelings allude to the final conflict, as he only begins to strike the Emperor because of his feelings for his friends, and he gives in to anger for a moment due to his feelings for his sister. It's good to have these feelings, however, they create a fork in the road, where it can give him great courage and strength, or it can be used to corrupt his mind and manipulate his actions. With this, Obi-Wan has given Luke all the answers he could to go in with a clear mind against Vader and the Emperor. From here on out, Luke is on his own, and he must use not only Obi-Wan and Yoda's training, but the knowledge that they've armed him with to his benefit. So, Luke returns to join his friends and the Rebel Alliance, bringing the band back together for one last adventure.
I'm with you too.
What is it?
Ask me again sometime.
Leia can immediately tell that something's off with Luke, as he has a series of conflicting emotions to deal with, as he must soon embark on a mission to save the galaxy and his father, conflicted with waiting for the right time to tell his sibling the news of their relationship amidst all this chaos. And as they make their way to Endor, Luke is further conflicted as he begins to question his decision to join Han's strike team.
Vader's on that ship.
Now, don't get jittery, Luke. There are a lot of command ships.
Luke's connection to the Force and his father are put on full display here, and in return, Vader can sense Luke, which is why he feels like,
I'm endangering the mission. I shouldn't have come.
It's your imagination, kid. Come on, let's keep a little optimism here.
This is ironic, as now Han is the one leading with blind optimism, and Luke is being a bit more pessimistic or realistic. This shows how far the characters have come and how they've rubbed off on each other over the years. And so, the team lands on the forest moon of Endor, a planet known for its trees and overall natural environment, symbolizing life and growth, similar to Luke's own journey to help bring balance to the Force, as the Force can be seen as life itself, and his own growth and development as a character as he's nearing the final stages of his arc. Shortly after landing, the team finds themselves in another predicament, where they have to work together to make sure the scout troopers don't alert the rest of the Empire of their location.
Chewie and I'll take care of this. You stay here. Quietly. There might be more of them out there. Hey, it's me.
And some things just never change. Unfortunately, as soon as they've assembled together, they're split up as Leia and Luke don't get to regroup after their victory. In the speeder chase scene itself, Luke gets to also showcase his great piloting skills along with his mastery with a lightsaber, bringing full circle to the idea of his training from the first movie, and as Han would say, being good against the living. This further proving Obi-Wan's point that there's no such thing as luck, as Luke has trained for this moment, and it's just another reminder of how far he's come.
Where's Leia?
What, she didn't come back?
I thought she was with you.
We got separated. Hey, we better go look for her.
Again, these guys are always getting into trouble as they try to go save the princess, just like the good old days. But unlike what they expect, it's not her that would need to be saved.
Hey, I don't get it. It's just a dead animal, Chewie.
Chewie, wait, don't!
Unfortunately, Chewie can't help but think with his stomach, something we can all relate to, which gets them into further trouble.
You take it easy, let's just figure out a way to get out of this thing. Han, can you reach my lightsaber?
With Leia gone, not only must Luke be the brains, but as per usual, the peacekeeper and leader, as tensions can always get high when conflict arrives. So Luke prioritizes what's important, working together to get themselves out of the situation, even if R2 just does whatever he wants anyways. And after they break free, they would find themselves surrounded by the native Ewoks.
Hey! Han, don't. It'll be alright.
Luke chooses to be peaceful before jumping the gun like Han does. This is reminiscent of how Luke reacted when he first saw Yoda, as he immediately drew his blaster on him. This time it's Han who does this, but Luke has clearly since learned from experience. Luke is willing to take the Ewoks seriously as he's learned to not judge others, especially off of size, as the most powerful being he met looked rather unassuming himself. So, in response, Luke can't help but laugh at the situation as he's reliving an experience, but with the wisdom to see what's happening ahead of time. As the team is being prepared to become supper, we see the difference in demeanor between Han and Luke. Han gets antsy and agitated with 3PO, whereas Luke remains calm throughout. Previously, Luke may have been more impulsive in this same situation, but like Yoda once taught him, being patient, calm, and at peace is the way to go to make the best decisions in life.
3PO, tell them if they don't do as you wish, you'll become angry and use your magic.
But Master Luke, what magic? I couldn't possibly.
Just tell them.
Again, Luke is calm and comes up with a plan, and on par for the course as we see the development in Luke's abilities as he lifts 3PO with ease. This being a key point in The Empire Strikes Back, where he once felt it was impossible to lift the X-Wing. Now he doesn't have any doubt in his abilities and believes everything is possible. Also, this mirrors the scene earlier at the Pit of Carkoon, as he always gives people a chance to make a choice and then uses his abilities. In both cases, he matches whatever was being thrown at him. In this case, he knew that peace could be achieved, so he takes that route first, using the Force in a way that would simply spook the Ewoks.
Thanks, 3PO.
I never knew I had it in me.
And of course, Luke can't help but be a true leader, handing out thanks even when he does all the work. Later, as everyone else cheers and celebrates on the eve of battle, Luke remains conflicted, as all he can think about is the difficult task at hand.
Do you remember your mother? Your real mother?
Just a little bit. She died when I was very young.
What do you remember?
She was very beautiful, kind, but sad. Why are you asking me this?
I have no memory of my mother. I never knew her.
Luke knows that what he's about to do will be a suicide mission, and he knows that while he may have never known his mother, he has a gateway to some semblance of that through Leia. Ironically, in a sense, he's already met her, as Leia is the person most like Padme, having qualities that she once did and living as she would. It's a really sad moment when he admits what we already know, but it amplifies the idea and reasoning of why he's so passionate about turning Vader back to the light. He's always dreamed of knowing his parents, and while he may be disappointed in what his father became, he would do anything to get a semblance of the man Obi-Wan originally described in A New Hope. In some sense, this is the first act he can ever do to being a good son, and it's about as noble as it gets, saving his father from himself, as he would like to believe that Anakin would have done the same. As well, this is his opportunity to bring his father back to life, so he knows the importance of it and chooses compassion above all else.
Luke, tell me, what's troubling you?
Vader's here. Now, on this moon.
How do you know?
I felt his presence.
Luke and Vader can feel each other as their connection in the Force as father and son has only grown stronger as he accepts the reality of the situation.
I can feel when I'm near. That's why I have to go. As long as I stay, I'm endangering the group and our mission here. I have to face him.
Luke nobly understands what must be done. For the sake of others, he's willing to make the sacrifice play, to lay down on the wire while the other guy crawls over him. He can't in good conscience stay and put others in danger, as he'll always put the needs of others before himself.
Why?
He's my father.
Luke has fully accepted the truth, and this being his main reason why he must go fits with his character, as he must go to save a good man from the prison that he's made for himself.
If I don't make it back, you're the only hope for the Alliance.
You have a power I don't understand and could never have.
You're wrong, Leia. You have that power too.
Not only does he mean literally, but metaphorically as well, as Leia is arguably the strongest leader of the group. She could be as much of a beacon of hope as Luke, as she has a natural talent to bring people together. Luke also understands the importance of inspiring others, and he looks to Leia to take charge, because he sees the great strength, resilience, and influence that she has, something that seems to run in Skywalker blood.
The Force is strong in my family. My father has it. I have it. My sister has it.
Luke gives Leia the big reveal, and they seem to only be connected stronger for it.
Yes. It's you, Leia.
I know. Somehow, I've always known. Luke, run away. Far away. If he can feel your presence, then leave this place. I wish I could go with you.
No, you don't. You've always been strong.
Such true words to describe Leia, because if she were in Luke's shoes, she would do the same thing every time.
But why must you confront him?
Because there is good in him. I felt it. He won't turn me over to the Emperor. I can save him. I can turn him back to the good side. I have to try.
With Luke, if there's a will, there's a way. The most hopeful man in the galaxy, of course, believes in someone that the rest of the universe has written off as a lost cause. Luke chooses to see the good in others when most would focus on the bad. This compassion and empathy is one of Luke's greatest gifts, and he uses it as his weapon when confronting both his father and the Emperor, a reminder to fight hate with love. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I had a ton of fun making this video, so if you enjoyed it too, then I highly suggest liking the video. And if you want to see more like it, then definitely hit subscribe. And if you want to be notified when the next character comes out, then hit the bell for notifications, or consider checking out my Patreon, where I'll be uploading videos there significantly sooner than on YouTube, so the next video should be available there as I speak, and the same will apply to the next parts when they come out. And on that note, I want to give a shout out to my patrons. Your support means everything to me. And finally, let me know in the comments which Star Wars character is the greatest Jedi and why. And who knows, they might be in the next one. Until next time, I am a Jedi, like my father before me.